She begging me, telling me please. The petty keep telling her freeze. She think I'm telling the chill and I'm trying to tell her to leave.
What's up, y'all?
Been in the corner, I told her some shit. I think you know if I tell you this lit. 17 times been running this shit. I heard her shorty was fucking the crib. Put her up blues working out. I got her whole crew working on me sucking it dick. I do not follow with that. I don't follow with glass. Hanging with killers and calling the shots. Niggas be beefing with gangs and guns in the club, we in all the spots. Niggas be beefing with gangs, I'm coming on road, they all of them die. All of my homies are in the mall. Ain't got nothing really but go to the store. Nothing to me, but I gotta teach you if you want to.
Alright. I ain't gonna play too much of it, so that way, you know, whatever platform this is, or whatever platform you're listening on, they don't restrict it or whatever. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, you know how that go. They might, just because of that clip, I might have to go back in and edit it out or whatever to get this point across. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Jay, with Grandmaster Jay, not Grandmaster, not I'm tongue twisted right now. Not the one from Run DMC. Jam Master Jay, I'm sorry. Grandmaster Jay. He was the leader, or is the leader, of NFAC. They arrested him. If you're familiar with NFAC, you know that's the black militia. They've been protesting a lot through the country, armed. They last biggest protest that I could recall, where I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous because it looked like it was potential for a civil war, but or the start of a civil war. But the last one that was in at the Kentucky Derby. So they made a public announcement or whatever that they was going to show up at the Kentucky Derby, and when they showed up, I don't know the name of the white militia, but the white militia showed up. I know the leader of the white militia, they call him the Angry Viking. They showed up, and and Black Lives Matter showed up, and of course the police showed up. So the police kind of had to step between them. It looked like it was somewhat hot and cold. You know, it was I guess if you want to say lukewarm debates. I'm not going to say it was really heated, but the temperature was escalating during that time. But nothing got out of hand, thank God. But the way that I explained it to people that aren't familiar with what happened on that day is, I explained it to them as, if a firecracker would have went off, if a car would have backfired, I was seeing that going totally wrong. And that's, you know, I think it was a lot of guns out that day. And, you know, the white militia was saying they were there to protect, help with the police, whatever. But anyway, so they arrested this guy this week. I want to say maybe two or 3 days ago. Today is Saturday, December 5th or 6th. I'm not clear. You know, if you look at me, I've been up for a while and just trying to, you know, get things together. But whatever day it is today, I'm driving, so I can't really look at the calendar. But they arrested him, I guess, on charges that he pointed his firearm at a police officer. And if you look at the picture of it, you could clearly see that it was nothing intentional. It was just that the position that he was carrying his gun or his firearm. That's like saying they said he was pointing at somebody on the building. But if you follow this man, you know that's not his character. Let me also say that they did a protest in Georgia where they protested on KKK. I guess their main headquarters or where it started. I'm not familiar with the history, but it's something mountain. I think I don't want to say which mountain, but it was something mountain, Georgia. So, I mean, the reason for this podcast or this video is kind of just to educate people a little bit on some of the history of African American, Black, whatever we are today, to educate others on the history of when we have leaders that's somewhat, I don't want to say leaders that are capable of organizing protests and things of that nature. We can go back to Martin Luther King, assassinated, killed. Malcolm X, assassinated, killed. I mean, those are the two main people that in history that most people can relate to. We can go on and talk about people that many may not be familiar with, but whenever someone in power of color starts to gain too much power, either they go to jail or some odd kind of way, they get assassinated or killed, murdered. Whichever way, 3 words, kind of, a homicide happens, whichever way you want to word this. The fact is I can't really speak on Grandmaster Jay because it's so fresh. I don't know that man personally, and I don't know if this was part of his plan or what I'm thinking. And the reason for this video is I'm unclear if he was prepared, if he prepared himself for this to happen, because time after again, this is what happens. There's no secret. I mean, you could throw Biggie and Tupac in there if you want. This is two famous hip hop artists that during the time when they were alive, it almost created something between two coasts, the East Coast and the West Coast. Many blame it on the magazine, but what happened to them? Whatever happened to them. There's always going to be different theories. Only the people who committed the murders, only those people could verify, if they verify truthfully what happened to them. But only those people could verify what really happened that day or those days. Now you see them arrest G Herbo, Casanova 2 times. Not saying that this week, but what these two gentlemen represent is they're making their money. They're businessmen who came from where they came from, but they're making their money and giving it back to their communities. I don't know all the extra stuff with Casanova and him being associated with whatever gang or whatever. But let me say this. Yes, there were many black on black crimes amongst gangs. But the gangs those particular gangs didn't originate for that purpose. The Bloods and the Crips originated to protect the community against police brutality and so on and so on. That's why the founders of the Bloods and the Crips created the Bloods and the Crips. Now G Herbo, I kind of follow him. I know that he gives back a lot. Another one that's from that area, from Chicago, that gives back a lot is Little Durk. Now, if you follow Little Durk, you know all this stuff that's going on. In my opinion, I think he's definitely on that list of whatever they got. I guess a modern day COINTELPRO. If you don't know what COINTELPRO is, Google it. History repeats itself. I keep saying that, and this is history repeating itself. Now, the reason why I don't think they arrested Little Durk yet, but I see it coming, is because they kind of waiting to see if he's involved with any retaliation against Quando Rondo. I mean, this is just common sense stuff. It's just common sense, and it's like a broken, we call it a broken record. It's like a broken record, but it's like an internet. It's like an internet stream with a bad Wi-Fi connection. It keeps repeating itself. The story, the song. So, I guess my message for today is, if you're involved in any organization that represents people of color and change with people of color, the only thing I could recommend is for you to try your best to calculate your steps. I didn't want to bring this up, but every day I give away. Every single day. I take that back. Just about every single day I give away. I don't record it. It's the first time you heard me say it. But I was raised I was raised in a split household. So my mother was Christian, my father was Muslim. And in Islam, they teach you to do things with your right hand so your left hand don't see it. Or try to do things with your right hand so your left hand don't see it. Meaning, try to be given without publicity, without too many people knowing that you're doing it. Because your blessings aren't going to necessarily come from other people, even though they come from other people sometimes. And what I mean by that is, your blessings come from your higher power, if you believe in that, or good karma, if you believe in that, or the universe, if you believe in that. So, if I give to someone today, then tomorrow I might receive a blessing. So you have to learn, I understand the politics in it, that sometimes when you're in a certain tax bracket, you kind of want to put it out there that you're giving away, so that way if it comes down to it, because this is just our government right now, whenever you're doing too well, they'll figure out a way to suck some of that out of you. Their blood is boiling right now. Boiling. Because tech companies are making so much money right now and not paying taxes due to our tax laws. I mean, it's their company. And we all work, or most of us work, and we all have to pay, even if you don't work, okay? You go to buy a drink from the store, you have to pay taxes on that. You go to buy groceries, you have to pay taxes. So regardless if you work or not, you pay taxes. And that tax money goes to our government, and they try to figure out what's most important for them to spend our money on. Or at least that's what they're supposed to do with our tax dollars, is to try to figure out where should these dollars go. All right, that's enough for today, because I can go on and on about certain things. Peace and blessings. Make sure if you're on YouTube, or you're watching this on YouTube, you like and subscribe. Share with your buddies. All other platforms, make sure you like it, share. That's the only way you get to see more messages, in case you didn't know. Okay. Free that man. Free Grandmaster J. I want to say, I guess they're and I'm gonna let you go. I guess they're most of them are from the military, but brother, if this gets to you, talk to me. Peace and blessings.